If we get a little order, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I know we discussed this at 2 o'clock last night, but Representative Riddle, I didn't get it all out of my system. So I was able to sleep a little bit, and so I'm back, but just for a few minutes. And this afternoon, let me primarily speak on this bill as a representative of my district. And I will tell you, if there had been some study done, if we had done some study, and the study came back and said that we were spending $4 billion more on our public schools, and consequently to bring about greater efficiencies and to make things work better, to improve school excellence, cut $4 billion away, and then we cut $4 billion away, that would be one thing. But the way we have approached this matter is that we decided that we were going to cut $4 billion away without tying it to anything, and now we're telling the local school districts, now you go make the best out of what we are prepared to give you. One of the reasons why I choose to speak against this bill is that when I go back to my local school district, Mr. Speaker, I'm sorry. I know it's Friday. When I go back to my local school district, and I want to speak primarily for my district because they are the ones that will hold me accountable. And I sat down with the school board members before this session started in December with Aldine Independent School District, and they were telling me about where they were in the district and about the fact that they were going to have to cut back. They were anticipating some cuts. And Representative Riddle, if I'm not mistaken, one of your staff members was out also at that meeting. And in that meeting, that breakfast meeting, they outlined the fact that they were going to be reducing or cutting away some of the magnet programs. They were looking at hopefully trying to avoid having to close schools. But since December, based on the budgetary situation, they've also notified me that they might have to close or consolidate a couple of schools in my district. And they were pleading with us to do what we could to provide funding for the local school district because of their budgetary problems. With respect to the Houston Independent School District, and Representative Dutton, you and I can attest to this, we have been fighting, Representative Allen, we have been fighting with HISD to keep them from closing and consolidating schools. And in this bill, based on the cuts that we are making, the Houston Independent School District will have to deal with $200 million in cuts. Aldine Independent School District will have to deal with about $32 million in cuts. Now, I know money is not everything. I fully understand that. I know money is not the total answer, but I will tell you, when you're cutting $32 million from one school district, cutting $200 million from another school district, they will have to make decisions based on choices that we are making. And I am the one, as the representative for my area, I'm speaking for me, I'm the one that will have to leave here whenever this special session is over and sit down with the parents of those schools and tell them and explain to them why the legislature chose to cut $4 billion away from their local school district. That is a tough sell. That's a tough sell, especially when we are saying that education is the #1 priority. That is a tough sell for me. And that's why I have elected to vote no against this bill. I know we all have different school districts. We all have different concerns. But we are making choices. Now, one of the things, and I talked about the success of what's happening in the educational system, the graduation rate in the state of Texas, we are 43rd. When it comes to people in the state of Texas 25 and older with high school diplomas, do you know where we are? If you're 25 and older in the state of Texas with a high school diploma, Do you know where we fall on the chart as it relates to other states? We are not 1. We are not 25. We are not 40. We are not 49. We are 50. We are 50. And what we are doing today is not going to advance us up the chart at all. So for me,
Mr. Speaker.
Ms. Riddle, for what purpose?
I hate to interrupt
I'll be more than happy to
interrupt the
yield to my good
gentleman. He's
friend.
so eloquent, but would he yield?
I'll be more than happy to yield.
Sylvester, thank you so much. I always enjoy listening to you. You're so extraordinarily eloquent. And you're talking about Aldine School District. You and I share parts of Aldine School District. And I think that we both would agree that there are going to be cuts regardless of
Yes.
what we can do right now.
Yes.
Have you visited with Aldine, with the teachers and with the parents and with the folks, not only in Aldine, but you and I also share parts of Klein School District?
Yes, we do.
That maybe those cuts should not be made from the bottom up. Maybe some of those cuts should be made from the top down. Have you visited with the superintendents and with the administrators regarding where those cuts are going to be made, that possibly those magnet schools don't need to be closed, that possibly those teachers don't need to be furloughed or let go, that possibly there's other answers. There's more than one way to solve a problem. Have you visited with them about, let's look at how we can trim back from the top down, not bottom up?
And Representative Riddle, I will tell you that it's a two-way deal. I will agree with you. Just like I have indicated to the local school districts and to the school board members, do not expect me to come up here and fight for money for you all if you all are going to spend it any kind of way. I will not do that. I have insisted that there be greater efficiency on their end, that the administrative costs be restricted, be limited, that the money go to the actual classrooms themselves, that the money should be spent on the classrooms. I've insisted on that. And what I'm saying, and I want to make sure, and this is what's important, I think, to all of us, but let me speak for me on today. I want to make sure that I have done my part in representing the parents and the students in my district.
And most of all, the children. Because I'm a grandmother of 10, and they're all in KISD. And our focus is, in fact, the children. But the money going in those classrooms, I think, is absolutely mandatory. And so would you be willing to work with me and with the parents? There are 40, are you aware that there are 40 school districts across this state, including Austin, Cy-Fair, Klein, Spring, where parents have come together, and there's Cy-Fair United, and there's Spring United, and there's Klein United. And those parents are looking at how the money is being spent, and believe it or not, they are finding areas of waste, profound waste, that needs to be that money needs to be not wasted and back in the classroom. Would you commit to working with me?
I will be more than happy to commit to it.
So that when we go home, we can make that difference.
I agree with you.
Thank you.
Members, this will be the education session. I think it will go down as being the education session, and this will be the first time in Texas history, with the exception of a short stop in 91 and 93, when we have failed to fully fund the foundation school program. The first time in Texas history.
Mr. Dutton, for a purpose.